What's up? It's Kelly Betts here in downtown Columbia, Missouri with an esteemed visitor I have with me in the studio.
Oh, me. Hey, what's up? It's Human 773, likes what you never ever seen, Chicago South Side. Yeah.
Yeah! I'm really excited to have you here. I have to ask, not to get super DJ Vlad on you, you have to tell me about puking during your rap battle.
I didn't have shit to eat but water. And it was like a lot of shit to go through to even get to Detroit in the first place. And so then getting
Oh, it was in Detroit?
Yeah, it was where like M & Proof used to be. It was the hip hop shop.
Yeah.
It was where I think the location in the movie 8 Mile was based on. And like there was a shelter, but like that was like, you know, I was proud to be there because there was a lot of history there.
Yeah.
And so like I put it into the Uber app, and they took me to a wrong one. It was like all the way across, I think somewhere on 8 Mile, supposed to be on 7 Mile. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to run a mile to where the venue is right now. Everybody's blowing my line up. Gully's like, you're going on right now. What are you doing? So like my body's full of water and nothing else. So I like take off sprint like damn near a mile. You know, like moving around gets nausea a lot worse. And so like I get in there and I'm like, you know, like they're like, are you ready? I'm like, shit. I'm like dizzy as fuck, like sweating hard as fuck, full of water. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm ready. And like it's just like grinning like nothing's wrong. And like I didn't think nothing was wrong. I thought I had to burp. Everybody's like, why'd you cover up like that? Cause like when you flexing your hips forward, flexing your shoulders back, and straight down.
I'll do it.
And chin up. Create a straight line, it shit'll go straight back down if it's not gonna shoot out of your fucking mouth. That shit never happened to me
It's like
before.
projectiles.
Right,
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, this film. And I'm like, what the fuck? And like, I don't know what came out of me. But
Yeah, not something that had happened before.
It's not something that had happened before.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And like, at first I was intimidated in the sense of, why it did this happen? I'm like asking my body.
You're like there with the crowd.
Right, like I'm asking my
What
body.
the fuck?
So like, I'm not even embarrassed. I'm just curious. I feel a little bit betrayed. It probably mattered to me the least out of everybody that saw it, because like in the moment, it was funny because I was seeing it like it was happening to somebody else, and like I'm seeing like it's like, oh shit, you feel me? You know, this guy just fucked up the show. You know, all these people came out here and like he done fucked up the show. And I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, I forgot what I was like.
Oh, I thought you were reenacting it. You're like, I want to ask you like what I think is a pretty stereotypical question for an interview, but because you're a really unique dude, I think it makes it a unique question. How did you come into battling? And I'm asking because the way you write is a way that like people do songs and kind of like art, right? And like, you know, ignoring the constructs and just being very much of your own voice. How do you end up in battling, which is very much a tradition, which is very much everybody kind of trying to say the same thing better?
Yo, I box and I work on film and I do graphic design. And I like taught myself everything that I knew eventually I'd have to pay somebody, like an artist would have to pay somebody to do. And like, you know, took what I needed from school. And when they was asking me the same questions class to class, I'm like, this shit is a scam. And like, I left. And one thing I saw across every discipline was that nobody knows what they like until you show them. So like in battle rap, like a lot of people will be convinced that they like been shown like the best way to do something, the same way people will see like the winningest boxer who like has like the best record, then they're like, oh, this is probably, you know, the highest application of that science so far, or something like that. Like that's probably the best we've seen of this shit so far. And like people would take their word for it because they're scared to get out there in front of a bunch of people and like they do something different. It's like, what, you lost? Why didn't you do the shit everybody else is doing? You feel me? And I knew it would take a lot of battles of people asking me like, what the fuck was that? Like people being confused as hell before people are like, oh, like he's not trying to like do some shit other people are doing. And so like ultimately what's keeping me in battle rap, on top of the fact that like it's important to me to keep sharp at writing for like because it makes me a lot better at expressing myself in songs. But like also, you know, in the long run I intend to mainly be a music artist. But in the meantime, you know, I want to, well, one, give back what I can, two, because I've been rapping since I was 10. I want to, like, give back what I can there and, you know, still, like, maintain, like, wherever I travel. It's like, oh, who is human? It's like, oh, you know, it's like, this guy is decent. Like, you know, people, like, all the way on the other side of the world, oh, this cat in Chicago is decent. You know, I hear he's got some new shit coming out. I think I'll check it out. But yeah, not like it's just like, you know, battling for promotion for the music, but like it's, I don't know, I love it.
I think if you're ready, I'm not very familiar with your music.
Oh, okay. All right.
If you're ready, let's set up and have you perform.
All right, got you.
Do this performance. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome interview.
I was finna come record now, but it's Gucci. I hit you back in like 24 hours, cause when I'm confused, solitude would probably help. I know better than anybody, we need time to ourselves. This shit by now it's pretty late, you probably getting wasted. They say to stick to prescription, but I would never take them for one. Nigga, the side effects are crazy. Plus I never saw how my thoughts are changing. I'm off the medication and Ye called it a superpower, thinking it was. Yeah, but we not rich, so we don't see it as one. They say we up and down, believe the hype and eat it right up. So I'm surprised they even got a word for people like us. I think when night come, the feeling dies and we get high strung. Believe me, I come a long way from bleeding my lungs, from screaming, fighting with my psyche. So if things are tied up, set the place, don't even hesitate to ring my line up. I hope you call that tomorrow. Yeah. If you talk to you could just call it tomorrow. If you miss, yeah, I believe I'm happy than crying defeat. Cause thinking back, all those people that was more violent than me. I seen them last year, was shot in the street. Sheet, that hairbrush feel like bed bugs eating at me while I'm trying to sleep. And honestly, that depression to teach you something that's really rough. And that's everyone reach for something and pick it up. And that's whether it's weed or fucking a different drug. I hope one day I don't even need a substance to lift me up. I remember praying and waiting on the Father till one day when I couldn't take it any longer. That bullet, it rotated and stayed in a revolver. Looking back, I'm just so grateful and patient for my karma. And haters learn all they know about us watching TV. Don't know shit about shit and figure all of us weak. But shit, I'm strong. You stronger than me. But my shit right by me, so I'ma hear it if you call and it rings, so you could call back tomorrow. If you need someone to talk to, you could just call back tomorrow. If you need someone to talk to, just call back tomorrow. If you need someone to talk to, you could just call back tomorrow. If you need someone to talk. All right. Thank you.